I sent Christmas night clearing 2 modules.
Wait, what modules like for what?
For my internship.
Internship.
I needed to do e-learning. I had like 7 to do.
Oh yeah, like but internship for what? That's what I meant. Sorry.
It's in a school, so they are giving me an orientation. So I needed to do the modules as part of the orientation.
Orientation, bro. You got picked up by uni already or something?
No lah, it's for my organization.
She got a job already.
What, bro? Like what subject? Oh my god.
What do you mean by subject?
Like math, science,
Oh, come on, no need lah.
quantum
It's like,
mechanics.
I can't do math, basic math.
I'm
And you want me to do quantum mechanics?
That's what I'm asking.
Takes a
That's
lot.
what I'm asking, Karen. I don't know what I'm saying. Oh well, whatever. I've started recording. Greetings.
We have?
Yeah.
You better delete that.
Greetings, everyone. Welcome.
James, you better delete it, right?
Welcome to this episode of the Terrible Podcast.
Terrible Ideas Podcast. What? Just name ourselves Terrible Podcast.
It's a Terrible Ideas Podcast.
Yes.
Today we have Mr. Ivano over here, and also we got Karen. Woo! New member, new person, new face, new voice.
Did she not deserve a title?
Karen. you want to introduce yourselves? Ivan, starting with Ivano,
I have to introduce myself again. Yo.
Say anything, man.
Yo, I'm Ivano, coming from the hood. By hood, I mean Boon Keng, apparently.
Hell yeah.
In the purple line, in Singapore. You can't get me because I'm a score. Yeah. Check my album. Man's Not Hot.
Karen is a muse. Alright, how about you, Karen? Self-introduction.
Hi, I'm Karen. I'm a friend of James and Ivano, and I put out this shenanigans almost every day of my life in the last 2 years.
Oof. Alright.
No, I'm just joking. They're really nice friends, and I'm really happy to be here. So.
And also,
Yeah.
Chen Xi, or Chon, in this area over here. Definitely here right now. You just can't see and hear her, invisible girl.
Where's Chen Xi?
Say hi, Chen Xi.
Say hi, Chen Xi. Oh, anything
Would
else?
you like to introduce yourself? No. Oh, that's sad.
All right,
This is
moving
why
on.
This is why I'm a voice actor, just to do this. Okay.
Glasses or no
Oh
glasses?
no. You actually look
Hey
very
guys, are we starting? Hello?
First topic. First
Are
topic.
you kidding me?
Karen is like the mom.
obviously not our first
Not
run
our
of this
first
rodeo.
First topic. What holidays do you celebrate and how you celebrate them? Alright.
Chinese ones.
No, it's Christmas. It's freaking Christmas. Let's talk about Christmas first, no?
Okay.
Do we celebrate Christmas?
3, 2, 1.
No!
Yes and no.
What does that mean?
What the hell did you do, man?
What does that
I was like,
mean?
yes, no.
No, okay, if it wasn't a pandemic, I guess I would have gone to my relative's house and celebrated. But this year, because of all the restrictions, so we have to stay at home.
So you do celebrate Christmas?
Not really though. We're kind of waiting for phase 3 to
Okay.
Lord.
Waiting for what?
So-
Waiting for phase 3 so that more people can gather. If not,
Okay, but
it's pretty weird.
normally you do celebrate Christmas.
I mean, it depends on.
Is there a tree? Are there?
I would say no.
What is it depending on? What are the independent factors here? What was that playing?
No, I would say no on a regular basis though. Because I don't really remember a lot of very significant Christmas celebrations, but in recent years, I think we've tried but this year, yeah, it's not really
How do
working
you
out.
try to celebrate Christmas?
I mean, like, I would say Christmas for me, it's more like getting your family together and like having like a gathering and stuff like that.
That's
So
that's the true spirit of Christmas.
I guess it's the
Family.
family aspect of Christmas, and that's the bit I appreciate a lot more than presents
I
and
see.
stuff.
Like trying to do Christmas. This year we put the base of the Christmas tree inside. One
Maybe
complete
next year we'll get to the bark,
Yeah.
and then maybe the tree.
Hey, stop teasing like that.
It is,
Relax.
it is our family's generational ambition to get to the star, but one day, not now.
Bro.
I just realized we should have started this with like, Merry Christmas, everybody! Welcome to the podcast. You know,
Belated
instead we just.
Merry Christmas. Belated Merry Christmas.
It's true.
What do you say, Karen?
Hope-
Happy Boxing Day, guys.
Oh yeah,
In
it's
UK, there'll
Boxing
be
Day.
sale.
But it won't be
It's like,
Boxing
hope
Day when
everyone-
this is released, like 2 days from now.
Oh
3 days.
man, now it's
4
the day.
days. Well, what is Boxing Day?
Basically,
You box.
technically in the UK, it's the day where you open presents and stuff.
So should it be Unboxing Day?
Yeah.
But the presents come in boxes too.
Yeah, so you unbox it.
unbox, yeah.
You remove it from the box. You destroy the box. I never won.
Don't ask me. Go and ask the queen.
Wait, how
Ask the
about
priest.
okay. Maybe now you guys don't have the time, right? Because Asian studying, but like when in your childhoods, do you guys like open presents and everything? Do you guys remember your
For
parents?
Christmas? No.
No,
Not for me,
never,
not for me.
never had a tree, never had presents.
Never had a tree. My mom would kill someone if someone brought a tree into her house. Like, why is there a tree here? You don't want a leaf fall out, not a stick fall out. I have to vacuum it. Is that
I think
racist?
when we were kids,
No.
I think we did have a tree, but it was more like after we moved and there was no space to put up the tree anymore. And my parents also felt it was a bit of a hassle, so I don't think we put it up anymore.
Right.
But I think we did try to give like our family members and relatives gifts and try to gather as much as possible, which I kind of miss a lot more this year because it's kind of harder for us to gather and you have to kind
Are
of
you
choose who to
close to
invite.
are you close to your relative?
Pretty much.
Relatively close to
I'm
your
kind of
Okay, anyway. That's good. Well, seems like I have the best childhood amongst you guys, When I was younger,
Why?
I used to have a fake tree. We used to have a fake tree.
Yo,
And we used
you
to
just reuse the same tree.
yeah, we
every
used,
year.
we used the
Yeah,
same tree every year.
same. When we were kids.
Yeah, and like
You
the
got-
presents would be like properly wrapped up and everything, but it would be like just the 4 of us. And that's kind of nice, I guess.
Mm.
I was never really
Makes
close to like, actually, no, sometimes we would go to like Malaysia because my mother's relatives live in Malaysia and go there and like it'd be pretty cool, They didn't have a tree, but like we meet up. It'll be a chill time. But I think that's more like on Chinese New Year, right? Do you guys celebrate Chinese New Year more than Christmas?
Oh yeah.
Probably. Yeah.
I think Chinese New Year is a bigger thing in my family, I would say.
Is your family like more
Chinese.
traditional? This is brilliant coming from all 3 Chinese people.
Have we had a non-Chinese on this
Very-
podcast? Finna get cancelled.
Wait, is Vic Chinese?
What do you mean, like speak Chinese at home?
No, I say is Vic Chinese.
Yes, she is.
She is?
Oh,
She doesn't sound
boy.
Wait, you better cut this out, man.
No, she has an accent. I swear she has an accent.
She is Chinese. I'm serious.
She has like Filipino accent, I swear. Oh, Chon! Oh my god!
Sean,
Chon! Chon!
Oh.
Karen, you're not doing the ritual.
Wait, are we supposed to
Oh my god!
do this?
No.
She's connecting the audio.
This reminds me of a time where like me and my friend, like we kept like nodding our heads like in front of this little kid, and then the kid started nodding his head back for no reason. What do you think?
Sean,
Chon!
Why made me do it? I don't know.
Sean. She's here.
She's not Jamie, she's Chen Xi.
Sean.
Lol, she DM me, hi, sorry, oh my god, isn't it now? Oh my god, wait, give me 10.
What do you mean by 10?
I'm
She's never
here.
coming.
Sean!
Oh,
She's
Sean!
here.
Sean!
Sean!
Hello.
Are you okay, Sean?
A mess. Oh my gosh.
Nothing.
Yeah. What, do you not want to intro? I mean, it's fine.
Yeah, everyone knows me already. They heard me talk.
Oh,
so
okay. I mean, no, I mean, like, do you want to say...
You never know.
Yeah, screw it.
on.
We're talking about experiences as, like, a child as for, like, Christmas or whatever. Like, did you have anything for Christmas as a child?
No, my parents let me choose a present for myself every year for Christmas, and that was about it.
That's the most, like, chill thing, right? It's like,
Yeah,
present, choose it for
Like-
you can choose your own.
Celebrate Christmas in Singapore? I don't know.
Do you have, like, tree when you were younger?
Did you have a tree?
We just bought a tree like a few years ago, so like that's why my living room right now.
Yo,
Shit.
got a tree.
That's like the most Christmas it gets.
Do you guys, like, stay up late watching movies?
No, I stay up late regardless.
Oh, okay.
Exposing a horrible sleep schedule right in front of everyone. Okay,
Oof.
it's
Like,
fine.
no,
Everyone has a horrible sleep schedule these days.
if you don't have a horrible sleep schedule, I would be questioning what you're doing in this world.
What? Oh,
Being
alright.
being a normal human being.
Yeah, being a normal human
Yeah, we're
being.
trying to regulate the sleep schedule.
Human
Trying to
being.
regulate it because it's been
Oh
messed
my
up.
god.
What do you count as celebration? Like, must your celebration pertain to that event itself? Like, or can it just be like, oh, it's this day, let's do something special? You know what I mean? Okay, so let's say,
Okay.
hey, it's Christmas. All right, some people will say, let's celebrate Christmas by going out to have lunch. Okay, sure, but that's not technically Christmas, because since like Christmas is, something about Jesus' birthday, and like in its actuality. So it's not actually like, we're not really celebrating Jesus' birthday. We're just celebrating the fact that we are all together.
Yeah,
So
I
is that
think,
still celebrating Christmas?
I think like the celebrating is like on a higher level than just like commemorating the day, right?
Mhm.
Just like acknowledging that it exists versus like actually going out to like worship it or whatever. It's like two completely different things, I think. Yeah.
Right.
I don't know what you guys think.
I think I was thinking. Oh, sorry.
No, sorry, go ahead.
I think Chen Xi, you want him first.
You see.
Chen Xi, just go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, like in other countries, wasn't there like an entire scandal about like calling Christmas and like saying that we should call it the holiday season instead. So now that's what everyone's doing.
That makes sense, but
Oh yeah,
but
that's true.
but Ashley said screw it. Let's just call it Christmas. So
Yeah, because like there's like for the world in general, there's more like it's like the entire imperative is like that, like especially like in countries with seasons, like it's winter, they can't go anywhere, so they stay at home and with family. Right, like this time of the year.
Right.
yes.
But what about the southern hemisphere then? Since it's summer now there.
I don't know. US and
I think
highly Americanized culture.
I guess that's
I
interesting.
guess technically there's summer holidays too, right? Maybe they're having summer holidays in a
Yeah,
way.
maybe.
Yeah.
Probably.
So, kind of works. They're both, it's just the holiday season.
You know, this
really
just
winter.
goes to show how Americanized everything. Yeah, anyway.
It's very, very American centric.
Yeah, and everything
Which makes sense.
Snow and snow. I want to see.
Snow.
You want snow?
I want to see snow.
You want to see snow? You haven't seen snow before?
Have not.
Oh, that's quite
Just shave some ice.
I
Same
have-
thing.
Sure.
When they were supposed to snow, but I have never had the fortune of actually seeing snow.
Oof, that's quite sad.
Yeah.
And have you seen snow before?
Yeah. Seen it before.
Just
Oh my
casually.
God.
Nothing good.
Sorry.
Every
I have seen
year.
snow.
Yeah,
Snow is like aesthetically and like aesthetically pleasing, but it's horrible.
I always thought of
it's a
snow as
rarity, but
horrible.
It's just
it is
wet.
nice.
It's,
think-
it's
But
going
also,
through
like,
solid water.
uh,
When you go home, like when you reach your like your abode, you would have felt like you've taken a shower, like John. Sorry,
I think
but yes, like white snow, like when people think of a white Christmas, that kind of snow, it just gets wet,
Yeah.
like everywhere. People hold
I
it,
don't
and
know,
it's
maybe,
like it hurts.
guys, maybe
It
it
hurts.
follows up on like the meaning of Christmas follows up on Chen Xi's whole point, which is just like the holidays. Because I remember when we were talking about stuff like that in school, right? And we were talking about what is the meaning for like holidays and what's the meaning for like festivals and all that. And we brought out the point it's really time spent with family. And someone said the other day in our discussion, I think it was in Chinese class, and we are talking about like Christmas and Chinese New Year and all that, right?
Yeah.
And then like we brought up this point, why on earth is Christmas still celebrated in Singapore? Maybe because there's a significant Christian population and we believe that there is a certain meaning to it. Then there's also this other meaning that also comes in tied with the holidays. And I feel like it's almost evident in almost every holiday, I would say. As many holidays as possible. It's really that connection with people, that time spent with family. That's why I noticed that in a lot of places around the world, now is the holiday season.
I mean, there
And
are other
us,
being celebrated also at like Thanksgiving, Hanukkah, right?
Yeah. Let's be real. Singapore's holidays to a lot of people are what? It's a
It's
break.
just break. Yeah.
See, I don't
You
agree.
just
I mean, like
because-
more than spending time with your relatives and everything, right? You can like categorize that whole like heap of things that you do during holidays as like a break away from whatever, especially in Singapore. Like
and like
especially for
not to be like
students.
a cynical capitalism hater, but like honestly, a
Yeah,
big
yeah,
part
yeah.
of Christmas is about consumerism. That's why it's still being promoted by a lot of like capitalists.
You know?
I mean the businesses and stuff as like a very normal, a very normal thing to celebrate. You should celebrate Christmas so you can buy our stuff and buy our stuff for your people.
You know,
I
in
mean,
Bitcoin.
Our like Valentine's Day and
Yeah.
Easter.
So a lot of
Chinese New Year.
holidays are basically hijacked by companies. Well, that's in my view, they are basically hijacked so that you would buy more stuff from them, and then they will guise it under, hey, you should celebrate this event now, and use our products to do it. But yeah,
Spending
if you
money
can
is
separate
not-
yourself, if you can separate yourself from that, I mean that's fine. Just if you can focus on the familial or friendshipful aspect
friendship or
of the
don't know.
of the holidays, then that'd be nice. Yeah.
I don't know what are they supposed to do during like Christmas?
Go to church
You go
and I don't know. I just go to church. That's all.
That's enough. It's good enough.
like I always wondered because like from young I never thought of Christmas as like a Christian thing, right? I always thought about it more as like just a holiday kind
Holiday
of
thing.
like the big man being good,
Yeah.
getting presents,
That's just Christmas.
be good, get presents. That's my
good,
whole
get
takeaway from
From
Christmas.
Christmas.
Yeah.
That's a very way, I must admit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's like a bad moral lesson. It's just-
Yeah, but like, so are the holidays in Singapore just reduced to something that is like useful to us only, like in the sense that like we become better people?
Oh my god, yeah, bruh. I swear, right? I swear to you, like everybody, like a lot of people in Singapore just view like a lot of things in terms of like productivity or whatever, right? The holidays is just like, a way to like go on a break, see relatives at the same time. That's like, efficiency,
With your homework.
your homework. Like, bro, don't you realize that like a lot of people view holidays as like this like elaborate scheme where like you have to be the most efficient or like
You
anything.
must plan out everything.
Yeah,
It's like a huge schedule for like every day of the
I
the
find like
holidays.
especially in Singapore, this is like very to be the case.
I mean, if you think about it, like even during circuit breaker, right? Like that, like it was a productivity competition.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, like for exams, especially for students and everything.
I guess that's just our culture that's
Yeah.
been ingrained into us as to be a very competitive kind of
Like
atmosphere with between each other, I guess, in a way that kind of pushes us to use any time we have to push ourselves further. And you know, the break is like the first thing you think of, but then once you're in that, you start to just
Thinking.
think more about like productivity. What can I do now? I shouldn't waste my time, even though it's not wasting. You're just taking a break. Yeah.
and that kind of like brings up the other issue, right? Like that I personally like have an issue with Singapore that I talked about in my previous album. Sega. Okay, anyway, but I don't know. Like to me personally, I see a lot of people as like lacking in passion in Singapore. Like I don't find many people who are like they have like a lot of drive in what they do. Maybe that's just like a normal thing like around the world. I'm just like, I'm an idealist. Like, sometimes I see people and like they're just chasing money, but like at the end of the day, money is just a promise to do work. And then once you get the money, you're like, what do? You get more money, and then you get more money, and then it's like promise to do more work to get more money. And it's like if your only aim is money, then you just keep getting money. And you never actually get anything done. Kind of sad to me.
Like someone
Mm.
money aim like that, wouldn't their aim be more of luxury than money?
Yeah,
Because
I mean, I guess, but like more productive to do what? To be more productive.
like it's just the view of the world.
I don't know.
Like,
You know what happens?
you can in America you can pay for your medical bills, and you can get a better education, which allows you to first
Yeah,
ascend the right.
I agree with that, but it's like first world problems, I guess. But like especially in Singapore, like so many people are already like so well off and so well to do. There's like it's not just about physical well-being a lot of the time. There's also a lot of issues with like emotional well-being that is definitely present, right? But like people just like don't care about it. I mean, not don't care, just yeah.
I think it's also like the stigma of an Asian society lah.
Yeah, but that's just my hot take, hot take. I don't think people are passionate enough.
I don't think it's a hot take. I think everyone thinks like that. It's just that no one does anything about it.
Which is why I decided to do music. Okay, but anyway.
Okay.
It's like my father the other day told me about like don't know what. Oh, this lawyer who's like also a DJ part time is like, okay, so is he interested in doing law or being a DJ? You can't.
Yeah.
I mean, you can split like your interests two ways, but ultimately, like I know this like I guess like selfish sometimes, but like you just don't see anybody who's like, oh, I'm going all in into like this one particular thing. And it's like, yeah, I don't know. It's efficient. I get it. It's good. On a surface level, it's great, but on a deeper level, like you have to wonder like how much, yeah, whatever.
When they get out of it.
Master of none.
A lot of that's from what we all know as kiasu spirit, pashu,
Yeah, it's
right?
like the
Scared of
kiasu.
losing.
Yeah,
So
being scared, being afraid of losing. It's a very
going all in into one thing. That's very scary thought, right? Because you have no safety net. If you fail, you fail. Like that's GG, no re. So like so a lot of people we are brought up with the concept of getting money because that gives you more leeway, more safety, more 安全感, very Chinese. Anyway, but yeah, like going for those high-paying jobs because stability, once again, financial stability, and so that financial stability is supposed to bring you happiness in a way, and so there's a lot of that. And as we all would know, artistry, all this music, art, and all that shabazz is very unstable in a way because it's very hit or miss. I guess you never miss.
hit or miss.
It's I think these unstable jobs are like perceived to be for the rich. So like what people do is they feel like there's, if they can
Like-
be reached, pursue the arts.
So like
Wait,
in Singapore, right? You're talking about in Singapore, right?
Singapore.
Yeah.
Is the Singapore spirit because of how,
But
Singapore is a young country, fought her way to the top, whatever.
But like in actuality, like a lot of these like for example Kendrick Lamar, you think he was rich when he decided to make a music career, bro? He came from the projects, yeah. But anyway, it's like
This is the difference in our cultures with like Western culture. It's all about building yourself up from the top into ambition, passion. But then from Singapore, it's about
Singapore doesn't have
getting
that.
yourself safe first before you start climbing up. I think that's.
I guess that ties into that Singaporean narrative because you really have to really start out from really not being put in the situation where they didn't want that independence but forced to do it in the end. So I guess that's what informs the fight or flight kind of mentality, and I guess that's why there's a very big price placed on stability because
It's just
I guess historically it's more like the region's very unstable and very volatile, so I guess they prize the stability. But I feel like now as things go and as things become more stable, like economically, I think what people are trying to find is that balance between the economic sense of happiness as well as the social sense of happiness. Like what constitutes a social sense of happiness and what constitutes a fulfilled and meaningful life. I think that's what we need to consider, I think, as we move on in the next stage of the journey.
I guess. I'm sorry, Karen, but like that whole like paragraph that I said just now, like I agree with it a lot, but like the way you phrased it is like it's like kind of like my whole problem with it, right? It's like people keep wanting to find like a balance. There's no hunger, there's no need for survival.
There's only mediocrity in a way.
Art is about freaking emotions and expressions. If you don't feel anything because your life is so great, you can't make art. And like that's why I think
there's
like,
no emotional center to it. Is that what I'm getting? It's like there's no emotional crux, which kind of pushes it.
It's like for a lot of for some artists, it's like, oh, if I want to eat today, I got to go out and I got to perform and I got to make that work. For a lot of Singaporeans, it's like, oh, it's okay. Like, sure, you have some Singaporeans that like do gigs and whatever, but it's just like it's so stifled, from the entire atmosphere around. They're like, even though you got to work to put food on the plate and whatever, they like think of it in a very different way. They think of it from a like allocatively efficient kind of way, rather than just a oh my god, yes. Yeah. I guess like a nice way to put it is like, you guys probably won't know, but it's like JoJo's Part 5, it's like Giorno's like, I have a dream and everything. The resolve. It's not there. Wait, do you guys know what I'm talking about?
No,
I think only I do.
I'm a bit lost.
It's basically like there's this character who like, his catchphrase, his catchline is like, I have a dream, and he does like these insane things to like achieve it. He jumps in like he jumps off like the boat and like almost gets killed and everything. And it's like I don't see that same like passion in Singapore. So I mean, like I don't know anybody who would like literally give up their life to pursue like a dream. No, I don't know.
What you?
Yeah, me. I see the point in like the way that Singaporeans look at things, where like they want to play safe. Like it makes a lot of sense. It's just like, I'm personally like, I'm a very impulsive person. Like for me, the sacrifice that I made, I guess, is like my schooling, like which is expressed inside my song, Johnny don't want to go to school no more, in my Sega album. Yeah, but,
Gotta go and listen to this one.
where like I question myself, like, am I really willing to give up schooling to pursue music? And like ultimately, I guess like I come to the conclusion of, yeah, that's why like during the holidays where like most people will be studying or whatever, or like even during school days, I decide to like draw and like make music instead, It's like, yeah, I guess like I can't really say from my perspective, because like my grades have always been like more or less there. Well, I mean, like I failed I failed the promos. Okay, yeah, sacrifice.
How'd you get promoted?
I failed promos to release my album. Yeah, resolve.
So
It's not the time to talk about Bromo's grades.
No, but I studied a lot. Like I still managed to make it work because I'm badass.
I get your point. I kind of agree in the no passion part, is that we are forced to make our decisions very early, or forced to plan our routes very early on in life. We're forced to understand that, oh, this route will lead you to a very specific destination that early on. And I think that contributes to a lot of stress, especially in the education system as well. And I think that's what causes this lack of passion, and also leads to a second problem, which is the lack of ownership. I just do for the sake of doing law. I just do because my teacher tells me to do it. I do because my parents tell me to do it. I do because my friends say it's good and they tell me to do it. I don't do it because I want to do it and I want to make something better. And I don't want to do it. I don't do it because I want to do it for myself. I don't do it because I think the hardest bit is trying to figure out, I guess now, I would look at this in terms of an educational field, is how do you empower kids to make their own choices about their own future and not feel so pressured? If you go down the route, and if this route fails, I'm gone for life, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I think that's the hardest bit to tell the kids now, because I realize, and I am also experiencing it myself, is that I'm also very afraid of failing. I'm also very afraid of, oh my goodness, what if this route doesn't work out? What am I even thinking? You know, that kind of, oh no.
Yeah. I guess that's a very nice way to put it. I think
I think it really has to do with how do we frame failure for our kids? How do we frame failure for ourselves? How do we frame what it means to slip up sometimes for people? Yes, a slip up is painful now, but it's not the be all and all, and there's always some bend in the road somehow. You know what I mean?
I can just be like a 300 IQ player like Giovanna. Okay, anyway.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, I mean, no, but like I agree. Like I that's a very nice way of putting it. I guess like the question would be like, what do you want to do versus like what do you think other people would want to do, right? I think a lot of people focus on like what other people in their position would want to do and what's socially acceptable versus what you yourself want to do that would make you like happy and feel good, rather than like, oh, I'm going to help the environment because it's going to be good for the world and it's going to help so many people. Like, sure, they want it, but do you want it? And like, yeah. I mean,
You
there's
believe
not like,
enough in that cost.
of course, like just to a certain extent, like I agree with the Singapore mentality, because like if everybody goes by that logic, it's like, oh, I want to kill people and I find joy in murder, it's like, no, stop that, like.
I mean, bring it that way,
I'm just
okay,
saying there's a fault in that way of thinking. There's a huge fault in that way of thinking, but and like of course, if you don't have the like ability for it yet, you should still be smart about it. You shouldn't just like drop everything and like and just like yes. It's like even though I failed promos, like I still saw like the value in getting a piece of paper, and I still studied for the exam. I'm not an idiot, but yeah. So yeah, wait, I need to go pee. You guys stop me, yeah. Have fun. Sorry.
Oh god.
amazing. What was this episode even supposed to be about?
It was about like local culture and Christmas.
We are
Okay.
kind of talking about culture. It's just that it wasn't what we wanted.
Oh well.
Personally, I decided to study less, to do what I want to do.
And what is it that you want to do?
Huh?
What was it that you wanted to do?
I want to like do English in uni, but like I'm in a very sciencey school, and and I have very sciencey parents, so like that's my issue with it.
I agree, Chen Xi. Good point.
I know, right?
Thank you. It's just no one thinks that is what anyone should do. So like, I've kind of like been in conflict with my parents over this for like the past 4 years.
I guess maybe it's got to do with my experience in primary school as well. I hated writing essays.
Oof.
Disclaimer, because I used to always have to write all the like stock phrases and all the good words and stuff, and that really pissed me off.
Bro.
Really frustrating.
Yeah, and if I use like it's like supposed to be a real life position, and like if you write in colloquial language in for dialogue, that's not allowed. And I didn't understand it because no one speaks like that in real life.
Bro, can I say like a short story? Like in my primary school, right, for like compositions and whatever, I used to have this teacher who was yeah, and she was like she was very mean to like she was very mean to the lower class, let's just say, you know. I was part of the lower class like in that time. I used to call myself the worst student in the best class, yes. Because I was literally the worst student in the best class. Like for example, there was like this event that we had to go to. I don't remember this, but my mother told me apparently, like she said, oh, if one person doesn't like wear the shirt like when we are like tomorrow to do this activity, like all of us won't like do it or something like that. And apparently I didn't like show up with that specific like attire. And like, you know, she had to keep to her words. And so she called it off and like everybody started hating me or something. And like my parents told me, I was like, I don't remember. What I do remember though is everyone bullying me. Yes, I remember that.
Oh,
But yeah, she was kind of a but you know, and like but I was talking about compo, right? Because like she didn't just do this to me. She also like she mocked like other students as well. I guess like it's a way of teaching, I guess. And like there was this one specific student who like wrote this compo, which is honestly like freaking hilarious. It's like about this hero, and it's like, oh, I used to be a zero, but now I am a hero. It was freaking hilarious. And like save a cat or something. And it was, oh my god. The entire class was like rolling on the floor, right? But like, you know, for the wrong reasons. Because she like, oh my god, she was so mean. She like took out his essay and she started reading the entire thing in front of our entire class to like make fun of him, man. Like that's so
it
mean.
was it was to humiliate him.
Yeah, I was to humiliate him. And then she was like,
Wow.
look at how bad this compo is, student. And I was like, holy hell, how can she do this? But also it's like freaking hilarious.
But that's not good teaching. We all know that.
I don't know. I was laugh crying. But like I guess she's like one specific case. But yeah. Like
I'm
a
sure
lot
But
only one though.
Yeah.
Many examples.
this is not just like the problem of Singapore though. I think it's like a problem with like teaching overall, but specifically like Singapore, where like a lot of people are very more laser focused on getting grades.
Oh,
What do you say, Ken? I mean,
we only talk about Singapore, so we can only talk about Singapore. We do not want to generalize.
yeah, I don't know, like from hearing stories from like other countries as well, you know. I don't know much, but like apparently like a lot of people hate school for like a lot of these same reasons as well. So like yeah.
I guess maybe it's because whenever they try to express that form of creativity, people say that they're being naughty and they're being silly
For not being normal, right?
because they don't follow the mode. But the thing about, I guess, students and the thing about learning is that you can't put an individual in a mode. And if you tell people that every individual is different, but yet you're trying to make them all the same, it's a bit of a contradiction, is there, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a bit funny, right? When everyone says that, oh, every child is different and every child's differences will be respected and built upon. But yet, when you're trying to build that when you're trying to respect that difference, why do you suddenly make everyone become one and the same?
Yeah.
Or
So-
make people conform to a specific script in life, even though they're not ready for that script in life.
Though I don't think like you can really like invalidate like the way that Singapore schools do as well, because like you know, being normal in this society is like easier to put people in a box, right? And you can't like really like you can't have too much individualism, you know, there's such a thing. And like you know, especially on the internet nowadays with like everybody going about like having their own freedom of speech, I guess it's a huge mess and it leads to a lot of chaos. I guess like a good thing about Singapore is that there's a lot of order, right? Everything is very organized, very neat, very tidy, and everything works. Like for example, in like this COVID relief session, right? Everything is like so orderly and nice. Whereas you see like other countries, not naming anything. Everything is like this step and then this step and whatever. Said like 30 days in advance and everything. So nice. And like there's something nice to like that having that safety net, right? But like it's not. Alright, let's talk about Chinese New Year then. Woo!
Oh, okay.
Because we're about
Yeah.
holidays, right? Yeah. So like, Chinese New Year.
40 days? Like
We
legit?
went from holidays to bashing school systems and then back to holidays.
Back
It's
to
fine.
holidays.
I feel so bad that I am though. I just feel like
Into our school system.
sometimes it is true and sometimes it is that experience, I guess.
I mean, school is supposed to be the place where you make mistakes. Like, school is supposed to be that safety net, so you can understand and learn. But then again, like, not everybody learns as well as other people. So there's always the exception. You can never make a system that satisfies everybody. Can never.
It's true.
Abolish the system.
No,
Anarchy
like,
forever. Okay.
anarchism is a terrible idea. It's a terrible idea.
But honestly, I feel like the school system in Singapore has produced pretty good outcomes. It's just what's going to happen moving forward. I think that's the bit that we need to question.
Yes, I guess.
Primary
Generally,
school.
quite good outcomes, especially in terms of literacy level and all that. I think it's a pretty good outcome. It's just how are we going to take it into the future? And I
I
think
do think that Singapore has a good education system, like in general, like as compared to other countries, or maybe I was just fortunate to be in the schools that I was in. But I feel like it like the Singapore education system like works on developing critical thinking and stuff, or like playing to students' strengths, which is why we have so many streams, which I do not agree with streaming, but like yeah, that's why we have so many streams. And
Sorry.
What?
What stream?
yeah, like pathways.
Oh, okay.
Like normal O level. I'm not sure what the new system is like, but I think that it really improved upon the old system. Like even though there's elitism, this is the fault of the people. The system itself provides opportunity to those who needs it. It's just that like manipulate the system and try to like get ahead, and that's where all the flaws come in. But
Yeah.
I feel like Singapore is doing a fine job.
It's like greed, right? I don't know. Like,
I mean I like school lah. Like I like learning.
you like school?
I just don't like taking exams. It's such a
I agree.
pain.
Same.
Books and books of stuff. What's the point of using it? I'm not going to use it in the future, so I just don't, and then so I just fail. But like, it doesn't matter.
I don't like that you have to wake up so early in the morning to go school. That's like one of the biggest gripes that I have with school. Like, it's
So if you start late, you will end at 6 p.m.
I have to
or
wake
7
up
p.m.
at 5 a.m. every day to travel to school. That's too early. You know what time I
You don't
sleep?
have to do this
I mean,
anymore,
if-
by the way.
Well,
I mean, like if we end at 6 p.m., but then we're gonna wake up later anyway, we can just sleep later.
yeah. Do you know what time
Fine.
the usual teenager sleeps? Extremely late.
When
What time,
when,
what?
like,
Personal experience. I got an example.
when our like
Wait, what time who
bodies
sleeps?
actually supposed
Extremely
to
late.
wake up
Usually,
late,
you
wake
know,
up later,
usually-
sleep early.
Yeah. Like most teenagers like sleep damn late because of whatever reasons. But like it's a thing, and you can't not address it. Like I get like, oh, in work, like you have to wake up early or whatever the hell, like. But still, oh my god, childhood is a thing. Yeah.
Us live.
What do you say, Sean?
We're teenagers. Let us live.
Yeah, let's live. And like so many people are so obsessed like with getting their work and done and everything, right? Like just live a bit, Jesus. Like go out with your friends or something. Oh my god. Do what you like. Go draw.
Or try to do a lot of things, and then like they just get nothing done in the end. Like
Yeah.
me. But like, I feel like there are people who are worse than me.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. I mean, I wouldn't know, but yeah, I agree. And like the fact that we have to wear like such a like you know, I always went to school with my school uniform, right? And like I would unbutton like the first button or whatever. And so many people like had an issue with that. I did that because like I could like I felt it was extremely tight. So I like unbuttoned it. And like it, oh my god, so many people like took an issue with me. Like my music teacher every morning he'd be like, "Oh, your top button or whatever." I'd be like, "All right, Mister, all right."
I actually like having a uniform because I'm lazy.
Yeah, I mean like there are pros and cons of like having a set uniform. It's just like it also like gives the idea that everybody's the same, right? I mean everybody literally looks the same, so
Yeah. And it's also a status symbol, and it also like prevents you from doing things in certain places.
yeah, right. There are pros and cons as I say, but
If I go out in my uniform, like it looks okay, my school uniform is like damn basic, so no one really bothers me. But like I if you are like in I don't know.
uh,
I don't
it's okay, John. Or like if you're having a school uniform, at least like have um a more interesting, more breathable school uniform or whatever. Right? Like and like the rules are like so strict in school. I don't know. Like last time you know you guys remember Caleb
Which one?
the twins.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh wait, Chen Xi doesn't know, right? Basically, there were like these twins like in my lit class, and they weren't both in the same lit class. Like one of them was in there, and like basically one day they tried like swapping.
Oh yeah.
I mean
Yeah.
you have at least once in your life if
Yo,
you're
oh
a
my
twin.
god, Chen Xi, bro, we think the same. Okay, wait, let me complete the story first. All right, so so basically, the our teacher like Doctor Ong, she wasn't too happy about it as you can expect. Actually, she was very upset about it, and then I think she said like, oh, you know, I used to think because Caleb was a very good lit student because you know he liked that. But like she was like, oh, you know, I used to think you were such a good student, but like now I might like not give you a recommendation or whatever. And I was like, bro, I was like, yo, like, and I gave the same argument as Chen Xi just gave. I was like, he has a twin. You expect him to do it like at least once in his like school life, and it's not like this happens every day. He doesn't misbehave every day. This is like just happened once. You're gonna like retract
Even me
like
a prank. It's
yeah, it's a
funny.
prank. It's a funny prank. Everybody laughed, but like yeah, and then she took it so seriously and she got mad and whatever. And I was like, are you seriously gonna do this? Like just because? Are you seriously gonna like revoke his
Ruin-
recommendation just because of like these few seconds of his life? Are you seriously gonna ruin someone's life over that? And like
that is the best example of why school isn't the place for you to make mistakes. It's not your safety net.
yeah, and then like I guess like me standing up suddenly and whatever like kind of relieved some of the tension. And then she started laughing and everything. And it's just like, James, are you sure you want to do this? Like I could very easily like not give you a shot. That's like I don't care, dude. Like I was like give my recommendation for him.
Wait, I do have a story also.
Oh
Like,
yeah, we're sharing stories now.
cause I am not a good student. Like
Oof.
like personality. Yeah, so there was once that I wore thigh-high socks to school on a dare. Yeah, and like yeah,
Sorry.
thing against it. It's not against the school rules. Like what do the school rules say? The school rules say socks have to be visible. They have to be above your shoes. And socks are either white, black, or grey. So I was like, okay, and then I wore grey thigh-high socks. And then okay, it was quite funny. Like it's like I literally just like pulled my socks up all the way and then I just walked through the school. And then I went to the assembly field and then like I just walked in and like I stood where I normally stood and like the discipline mistress was at the front of the entire field and like I literally saw a shadow being cast over her face. And then it's like she sent one of the chairpersons to come and tell me to meet her after assembly. And I did, and I was kind of insolent about it, which was my fault. But I feel like all my points made sense. Like she was like, "Why are you wearing long socks?" And like honestly, like you would think that people wear long socks just because they've gotten scolded for wearing short socks before, but like my socks are always visible. It's just that today they were extra long. So I was just like, I thought they would be comfortable, and like it's cool in the classrooms and I like long socks and they were comfortable. Okay, I'm just saying, it's like for comfort's sake, right? So I was just like, it's cold and I want long socks. Then she was like, are you then she was like, if your ears are cold, you wear earmuffs to school. And I was like wearing a hoodie at that point of time, so I was just like, no, I wear my hoodie. That's why I bring a hoodie in case my ears get cold.
Oh,
And
okay,
so
that's
Bro, I stand, honestly. Okay.
Yeah.
Also, reaction.
she had like a lot of different she had a lot of things to say, and then I just like counted everyone slowly, and I feel bad for it because she's like, I'm sure she's nice, I was just not happy because I like my socks.
I mean,
wow.
I personally, I believe that I like if you believe what you're doing is right, like you're not doing anything wrong, you're not hurting anyone. I believe that it's okay to defend yourself in those kind of scenarios, and as long as you're not being like a horrible person about it, you're not being confrontational, you're not being vindictive, you're just defending yourself and like setting out your points. I think that's fine.
Yeah, I mean,
It's just
there are
that
different
a
ways
lot
of
of a lot of adults won't take into account any of your tone, and they will find any if you talk back like that, like talk back, they say it's talking back and like you're argumentative, which I don't understand because like I'm just explaining myself to you because you are asking me why I'm doing
Like,
this, right? Sorry.
yeah,
Yes.
it's valid because I literally like brought up the fact that this is what the school diary says, and she's just like, no, it's not what this list is not exhaustive. And I was just like, okay, sorry, I didn't know.
yeah.
Like it's like, but she wanted an explanation why I did it, and why I did it was literally for fun, like not because I got into trouble, and because I genuinely thought that I genuinely thought I wouldn't get into trouble. I just thought that I would get weird stares for the entire day, but I got into trouble.
On hashtag rebel.
Did you have to face any punishment or anything? Was that just like dressing down?
Start by writing an apology letter, which I am very good at writing, by the way. I've helped my friends write apology letters so many times.
Legend.
I'm sorry for
Legend.
wanting to wear thigh-high socks, even though they are nice, comfortable, fashionable, and very nice.
Yeah, for being rude. Oh, I genuinely didn't know. I'm sorry. But like, I do not think I was in the wrong. I just feel like, okay, I just don't want drama.
You're right. I don't know.
It's
Sometimes
just-
I feel like the teachers are like get some kind of cathartic release when they like punish students.
Yeah, and I like to be angry too.
Like
I mean, not wanting to like believe the worst in them, but honestly, I agree. Like some of them just it feels like they're trying to be vindictive. They're trying to be like they're trying to catch you out and like make you feel bad for doing thing.
last
You know,
time
it's just a very minor offense.
they are projecting. I mean, they're all humans as well. That makes sense. But like, yeah, sometimes do like too much of an extent. Like last time when I was in sports school, right? Like I used to be also a hashtag rebel and like access the computer labs even though I wasn't supposed to and skip my training because yeah, but
You were in sport school. That's like
Oh,
why
yeah.
you
what do you say?
history.
James, what are you in sports school for?
Oh my
Sports.
god. Wait,
I don't even know.
I said this in episode like 3 or something. Go no, I'm joking. Like I was in sports school because of platform diving.
What?
You guys know what's platform diving? I have to explain this again.
Diving?
Yeah,
Or
diving.
like,
A platform.
oh,
Yeah. Oh my god, Karen knows.
oh.
You know, Tron?
I think so.
It's basically jumping from high places and doing many somersaults. Yeah.
Like,
Oh, so can you still somersault?
It's the ones
No.
where the judges
I mean-
put up the boards with numbers on them.
Yeah, not really, but that's a story for another day. That's to do with like my PTSD or something. But like basically like I used to hate training for like various reasons. It's a long story. Watch episode 3. Oh my god, life.
Okay.
Wait, but
Okay, episode
like
3. After
I think it was episode 3. Wait, Ivano, our music episode was episode 5, right? Yeah, it was probably episode 3. It's the one that's
Sure.
like hashtag life story. Okay, anyway, but yeah, I used to like go into like the computer labs and whatever, right? And there was this one day which I got caught, but I wasn't as like boss as Chen Xi, you know. Like the teacher caught me, and then she like came up to me and she was like, she was acting so proud, man. She was like, oh, I noticed that you're inside because there were water vapors on the glass, which means the inside is cold, and so that means that that someone off the aircon. So I went inside to like go and off the aircon just to check, and I find this student sitting like that, and I was like, okay, man, okay. But like then she asked me to like go call my dad, and like me and my father didn't. What do you say, Sean?
Like good for her. I mean, at least she feels good about like her skills in her understanding of basic science.
Student sleuthing.
Yeah,
The-
and when she was talking to me, she was like putting this such like passive aggressive front, and I was like, all right, I want to go home. And like yeah, and like me and my father didn't really have like a great relationship at the time. Like she forced me to call him, and I was like down there like breaking down, and I was crying and whatever. I was just like, yeah, and he brought me home, and then like huge things happened. You know, he tried to like drag me out. Yeah. But this whole thing. School.
Singapore culture. My
Yeah.
favorite.
About international viewers. Do people even watch these?
Yeah, people watch
It's
this.
just-
The episode talking about my life story has like 100+ views, you know.
Wow.
All from you?
My life story is marketable.
It's all because of you. You're just too charming.
What were your
John's
most?
like making a dress, bro. Look at that.
Yeah, oh my god.
You're making a what?
Making another scrunchie.
That's crunchy.
Sweet.
What? Actually, I didn't finish the one I was making last week, so I'm making the other half of it.
Oh.
I see.
Remember the bowl?
Yeah.
God.
Oh, is it for like? Wait, is it for like headers or something? No.
Yeah.
Oh.
Heather's the musical.
Yeah, bro.
Yes.
Yeah,
Actually, I
y'all can
honestly
kick
want
out
to watch
now.
Market there, then on the second floor there were a lot of cloth shops.
Wait. We are supposed to be talking about Chinese New Year.
Yeah, Chinese New Year.
Speaking of Chinatown, guys, shall I pivot towards Chinese New Year?
What are your experiences during Chinese New Year like actually?
I have to wear nice clothes. And then I go to visit my family. And that's about it.
Interesting.
My family is like more religious, I guess. Like we have to go to like shrines or whatever, and like we have to pray and everything. We have to hold the joss sticks, right? And like go there and like carry it around. Like,
I've always hated Chinese New Year for myself, like personally. I guess it was back like when I was young, cause like okay, this is a misconception I've always had until I realized that I'm stupid. But I've always thought that during Chinese New Year everyone goes overseas, because most of my like extended family is back in Indonesia, so every Chinese New Year I had to go back. Yeah, and I'm so rich. Okay, that's why I got my Gucci sweater. Anyway, so yeah, I had to go overseas. 拜年 right, all the way. I also go to the temples there, burn everything, be a budding arsonist. And then, but I've always hated like everything that had to come with it, which is shopping, because I used to hate shopping and like buying clothes, testing out new clothes.
agree. I can second that.
I hated getting haircuts. I still do, but I had to get haircuts anyway. And it's like, and I used to hate going overseas. I still kind of do. And so all of that kind of culminated in me hating Chinese New Year,
First world problem.
like a lot. Exactly. But yeah, that's just my hot take. it just always put me in a bad mood. So I just stay in a room and watch Cartoon Network because I'm a edgy little kid.
Yeah, I agree. Like, what is the significance of Chinese New Year to like a lot of Singaporeans, right? Or at least like Chinese Singaporeans? I guess it's like a religious thing as well. No, it's not that Singapore doesn't have any culture, you know. It's just that we have a lot of diversity in our cultures. And like my family, you know, who's like more religious, I guess you could say, do still practice like a lot of these things. Although like they don't impose like these practices onto me, but they themselves do practice it. Yeah.
Right.
So like, you know, we do have like a diverse culture in Singapore, I think. If you look at it close enough, microscope. Yep. Like, and I don't know, do you guys think like these cultures will die out like in a few years or whatever?
Absolutely. I mean, no, sorry, no. Singaporeans are very superstitious.
Oh, true. Do you think so? Do you think Singaporeans are like very religious people?
I think not religious. I think superstitious.
What would you say is like
Different thing.
the difference?
I think really superstition is more of like based on your environment and like what people tell you.
So it's more of like
So I don't even know. I'm
so what you're trying to say is Singaporeans are gullible. Is that what you're trying to say?
I think I'm gullible too, honestly.
Ooh, all right. Well, you
Sure.
have it here.
Sure.
Agree, disagree, Ivano.
How to say superstitious about culture? I feel like it'll be the more religious, superstitious aspects of what we do, what we celebrate, and our traditions will start to fade. Maybe not completely, but it's like it won't have as much of a prevalence, right? So as a generation, we will start to move closer towards we are celebrating this as a holiday, not as a Chinese
Yeah.
event.
I guess I agree with Chen Xi. Like Singaporeans are very superstitious, right? Like we still say things like, "Oh, you know, this food is heaty" or whatever, and like we listen to like grandma's tales and whatever. You know, don't cross the black cat, don't walk under ladders, etc. Broken mirror.
Do
What do you say,
you
Chuan?
think before
Do you think what?
like it's just a way for adults to tell me, oh, 你不要 whatever, just drink English, or don't drink soft drinks. If not, your qi will change, and I don't even know what it means.
Yeah, if you're asking whether they're made up, I mean, I don't think it's made up. I think it's like a weird game of broken telephone where like they're told by someone else and then they tell it to you as well. Like in the guise that like, you know, it's for your well-being. I don't think they have like ill intentions, but like, yeah, it is a thing like Singapore. A lot of people are very gullible, right?
But that was no point.
Well, what do you think, Karen? We can't hear you. We still can't hear you.
M1.
M1.
What do you mean by gullible? Like,
Holy hell, she's so soft.
She sounds 10 meters away.
Yeah. Say what do you? Okay, I'll
happened?
interpret. She said, "What do you mean by gullible?" Right.
yes, bingo.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I mean, it's like a lot of people are very willing to like suspend their disbelief and believe in like a lot of these grandma's tales, right? Especially in Singapore. It's like I
Okay.
guess. Oh my God, I just had like this insane theory right now. Crackpot theories. Wear your tinfoil hats. I guess it's like
Okay.
because, you know, a lot of Singaporeans don't have an identity, right? And like they don't really like have a strong like will or like passion to like in whatever they do. They don't really have strong beliefs like for the people who don't have strong beliefs. A lot of the youth these days, right? And so like when other people like say like, oh, you know, 4 is a cursed number or something, it like sticks with them. And because they're trying to find their identity, then they like they use it to identify themselves, you know, like not outwardly, not outwardly, but inside themselves, and they're like, yes, you know, and that's what religion is about as well. It's about you not knowing your identity, and religion telling you that if you do this, or even school telling you if you do all of these things, you will be able to lead a good and happy life, or whatever the hell they preach.
Episode. You just summarize thing,
I just summarize what?
the entire episode.
Summarize the entire episode. I'm a genius.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think, Karen? Shout into the mic. Or Ivano, say something.
I guess my take on it would be that it's very similar to once again Kiasu nature of how like we don't know if that's real or if that's fake. But if it happens to be real and we don't follow it, then we're screwed. So why not? It's not gonna hurt us if to like stay away from number 4, stay away from black cat. So just why don't we just go like follow it, and like so if it works, good. But if it doesn't work, then nothing happens to us either anyway. So it's another form of how I say it, like anxiety or like being scared of failing. It's like having that safety net of doing that. Yeah, in a way. Once again, safety net comes back.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Oh, that's abandoned so often. It hurts the cats. I'm sorry. It hurts cats. Not good.
True.
It's a very tangent just went all the way there, but it's fine.
Really,
All right.
like to shelters, killed, just collect. Like that's discrimination. Like it's like
It's
all
racist.
That's right. Singaporeans are selfish. Yep. Hot take. We can't hear you, Sean.
all cats deserve a good home.
Yes, all
Yes,
cats.
okay, it's true.
And Singaporeans are selfish. Hot take number 2. Crackpot theory number 2.
Everyone is selfish. Hot take number 3.
I agree there's a certain
A level of selfishness is quite important, I guess.
I guess
Can't
like
be fully selfish.
since we all like see things from our own perspectives, we only can rely on what like we see and what we ourselves interpret as to be the truth. And to do that, you like I guess you could like say in a way everybody is selfish, right? Because ultimately even if you do a good thing, it is to satisfy you and your heart. It is to satisfy your inner whatever, I'm sure there's like a medical word for it or something. But you know that feeling when you do what you want to do and you're like, yes, like even if it's something good that benefits other people, in a way that is still selfish, right? It's like empathy, like people have empathy and they do good things for others, but are they being selfless? Even, okay, hot takes, right? Hot takes all around. Even Christians, right? Even like that mathematician who like wanted to prove God was not real, and he like let everybody like take all of his things in his house and he ended up living on the streets. Is that being selfless? Because like in a way he himself had the goal of wanting to prove that God didn't exist. Or like in a lot of Christians, like sense is to like kind of it's kind of like to follow in God's words or whatever. I'm not Christian, but like and it's fulfilling that like area of yourself, and in that way it's kind of like being selfish, right? So is everyone selfish? Hot takes.
I mean, I feel like even like I don't know, like even like our everyday relationships, like it's like they are selfish to a certain extent, because after all we would go like the extra mile for like the people we love, but at the same time it's not entirely selfish because we are putting someone's needs before ours. So that's just like a paradox. Like it's like, is it selfish? Is it selfless?
I would say it's selfish. Like in my opinion, it's definitely selfish because the root of it is that is what you want. It's what you want. If you're trying to,
I think I agree. I agree that like most relationships are based off a very transactional kind of process. It's like I want to know you because you can do something for me and I can do something for you. So we both benefit in a way. But okay, maybe more like I will benefit from knowing you. Maybe not much of the you will benefit from me. So a lot of relationships are built on knowing that having a relationship with this person will bring myself benefit. That's the transactional part of a relationship. And yeah, I guess deep down, like fundamentally, our brains are hardwired to be selfish, to form these bonds through selfishness, through self-preservation. But along the way, I I I do want I do want to believe that there's some selflessness there, that there's a irrational kind of unconditional care for and appreciation and love for like the other person.
In that way, like to be selfless, you have to be at first irrational, right? In a way.
Yeah.
Yeah. To quote
I
this
believe so.
anime, that I watched called Vinland Saga, amazing anime. But like they were like there was this priest character who was like Christian, and he was like talking about love. He was like asking the characters like, no, he wasn't asking the characters. He was trying to find for himself what love was, and then he described it like I think quite nicely. He said like the thing that expresses most love like is like it's like a dead person. Let's say a dead person is true love, because he experiences the wind and like he experiences the rain while the dead person is laying on the battlefield, but he doesn't complain. He provides nutrients for the soil selflessly, and I mean he or she is a warrior, so I guess in this case it's a he, like in the era, right? And like he just lays there and eventually disappears, and never once does he like say anything or make any complaint, and like in that way it's kind of like selfless love, right? Yeah, I guess like there is a way to be selfless, but like most of the time the MO, the modus operandum is that we are selfish.
Modus operandi.
Modus operandi is that we are selfish. What do you say, Chong?
I feel like oh my gosh, I feel like it's a lot of like people doing what they think is right, and whether that is like because of their own selfish moral code or not, like it is still done with good intentions.
But that in itself is like a paradox, because how can you do something selfless while being selfish? Your mode of thinking and your ideals do not apply to other people. If you want to impose that ideal onto other people, how can you say that you're being selfless?
That's selfish.
We are supposed to be talking about Singapore culture.
I mean, yeah. We're talking about ethics now.
Selfish Singaporeans.
Selfish, selfless, and everything in between.
I think it's an interesting discussion. Anyway.
Are we delving into all this so soon?
Wait, I need to pee again. Can you guys like try to get back on track while I go?
What were we even talking about?
From Chinese New Year to all this.
Singaporean selfish. We're talking about superstition.
Yeah.
And then cats were being thrown away. Singapore people are selfish for throwing away cats. Selfish. What's truly selfish? Selflessness.
Oh my God, cults is for your own personal self-interest. Schools don't have that idea at least. That's why they're not considered cults.
Really? Do you think that? What makes it supposed to have their own personal self-interest? Like, don't you think like the teachers just want to earn money?
No, what? I mean, maybe it's the school that I went to, but like in sports school, I had like some nice teachers. They're very nice. Like
always going to be teachers, but at the end of the day, they are doing this to get money.
No, not necessarily. Like my physics teacher was like, he was like very interested in like me as a person, like personally, because like as well as like grades or whatever. I also wanted to be like a rocket scientist last time or stuff. So like,
wait, your dark history.
What do you say?
Your history is so dark.
Yeah, my dark history, but now I don't want to be a rocket scientist.
Yeah, kind of.
Anyway, yeah. So like that stuff and everything, right? And like he would like stay back and like do my projects with me and everything, and then he would drive me home and everything. I think that's for like money. It's like it's so nice, so nice.
Agree, they are nice teachers, but like at the end of the day, it's still a salaried job. So
no, and like and the way he teach is like, oh wait, Chong, what do you want to say?
No, like it's like also very difficult to say that like any job, like no matter what good you put in the world, is completely selfless by the logic that you just
Yeah,
use.
of course. Okay, but that's but that's the MO. That's the way things work. The way things are. I'm talking about like whether they actually care about you. And like in my opinion, they don't just care about the salary, they also care about like the students. That's why it's not just for personal gain. Like my physics teacher, the way he teach physics is like he go out and then he would like whenever we encounter a subject, he'd be like, let's go out today. And we'd be like, all right. And then he'd like go out and like bring these like weird things. Like to learn about air pressure, he brought this like long ass tube and like there were like 5 flights of stairs and at the bottom he put like this cup of water and like he put like one end of the tube in the water and put the other end like up at the top of the stairs and then we were all there and then he's like, all right, you guys try to suck the water up. And like that's how he taught air pressure because like air pressure depends on distance, right? And because the distance was like so high, there was a lot of air pressure there, and so you create like almost you need to almost have like a vacuum in like that area of space to be able to suck up the water. Basically, it was impossible to suck up any water. You see, that's quite interesting. That's quite
Physics.
cool. Yeah, and like
Wow, when did that happen?
If I tried to argue, how about that in a way is also stemming from his own personal wish to
yeah.
be like good in
Yeah,
a way,
but
as a good teacher in a way.
the fact that he is pushing his ideal shows that he doesn't just care about the salary. He actually wants to create change inside the education system that would lead to more students benefiting, even if there is a selfish desire and even if that is based off of his selfish ideals. He doesn't just care about his salary. He cares about the students' well-being as well, and that's part of his selfish desire.
Selfish and selfless.
The different levels of selfish.
We went back away from Chinese New Year. It's fun.
There is no Chinese New Year.
It's
What
only
you
school
There's no
system.
Chinese New Year.
It's deception and lies.
So what exactly does it mean to you?
what does
Celebrate a holiday.
Oh, rest. For me, it's a chance to do my actual work. I mean, my art and my music, yes.
I think so. I think it's more
Also
of to run away from these school imposed responsibilities and instead focus on things that I would like to do instead, right?
A temporal reprieve from like the rat race that we experience on a daily basis.
Yes, Sean. Amazing.
the thing is, I think the thing is like it's not bad. The responsibility that we have in schools are not like it's not bad to have responsibility and learn it like that way. It's just like when you have too much of it, to the point where like a lot of students actually like commit suicide. And like, of course, they are making changes, right? Like in the primary school, there's no more PSLE apparently. Must be nice.
No, not PSLE. It's the grading system change.
Yeah, the grading system changed or whatever. And like, must be nice. Honestly, like I've made this argument before, but it's honestly the parents. Agreed?
Yeah.
The schools wouldn't have such like aggressive tactics if the parents were like chill about it and they were like, yeah, no, I'm okay with a C. I'm okay if my child gets a C. Every parent is like, I need an A. I need that top 1%. And so the schools keep pushing, but they don't realize that like because of this stupid percentage bell curve system, you can never get ahead because the more you push, the more the bell curve will just shift right. And it's just like everybody's just increasing, and it's like, who can increase faster? Oh. What do you say, Sean?
That's why everything just gets harder. But at the same time, we realize that the syllabus is shrinking.
Yeah.
Which is kind of, that means that the like the difficulty of questions are going to increase and things are just going to be harder for students.
Yeah, so it's like a never-ending cycle of increasing pressure, and like every generation after the next just has more and more and more, to the point where like a lot of students these days actually like go and commit suicide and stuff like that. It's depressing. Like actually,
primary schools still have that class ranking system.
Yeah, they still have that stupid system. Oh my god.
But they no longer
it's a literal
kids anymore.
It's elitism.
It's a literal caste system. It's
a
all
caste system.
elitism. It really made me so horrible on myself. Like then, remember what going from the first class to the second class, and I started crying at the first day of school. It was
Bruh, are you
amazing.
serious?
Like now that I look back, I actually like broke down like during assembly because of it. That was like the amount of pressure my parents, like the school was giving me, that like kind of just broke me that day. It was like, now
Yeah.
that I look back at it, it's like it's horrible to put a student like through that, like especially so young, right?
Yeah.
I've never understood this.
Actually,
It always
I think the thing is that my parents never really cared.
Oh, okay.
it's like I guess it also depends on like the people around you, but
wait,
it's just this system supports the people who are doing better to fear doing worse, and the people who are doing bad
Well,
to like
be embarrassed.
give up, yeah, be embarrassed and give up on like trying to do better. Maybe some will actually try and like actually advance through the system, but honestly it just doesn't make sense to myself.
which one? What do you say about your parents?
No, my parents were not. They didn't pressure me that much, and like I think like I was on the good side of the system back then. So like, I'm not a good person to talk about this, but I do agree that it's there are so many factors that goes into like whether or not you perform, such as your family environment, where you live, how much money you have, whether you're rich. Like there's so many different factors.
Yeah, true. And
Here's a
it's
point.
not just like a in name kind of thing, right? It's they even act that way. I would remember like people in the upper class, the higher classes in my school, they go around with like an air around them, you know. It's like they don't mix with the other people. They always like only talk to each other and whatever. And like and they always had this I'm better than you kind of attitude to approach things, you know. Even like between schools. Don't you realize like AC and like whatever, and they'll be like, "Oh, I'm better than you." There's always this air. I feel
Which
even
AC
like
are we?
AC
I
is
don't
like,
think so. Honestly, I never really felt that. I never felt
oh,
that.
okay, Karen.
No, seriously. Like, I guess maybe because,
But you're from a pretty good school already, right?
yeah, and maybe because I was on that side of the system and I know how most people on the good side of the system tend to behave. I never felt that kind of disadvantage sense like, oh, I'm in a lousier school. I guess maybe that came with maturity, and it just came that for me to realize that, okay, I don't need to go on this path to get to where I need to go. There's another door that's going to open for me. And I just need to wait for that door to open, and it opened at the right time.
Like it's like such a big decision to make when you are 12, because I'm from IP, and I feel like I should not have had to make the decision of what school I go to for 6 years when I was 12. I'm
Yeah,
18.
I agree.
Different.
I see
Like
the point.
like kind of the amount of choices you have makes it such that the choice that you can make like it makes it such that you feel limited in the choice that you make, because it's like what's it called? Oh my god, there's a name for it. It's like the confining of choice or whatever. You know, we're having
Because
too
it
much
limits your
freedom.
options. Like the moment you go down that path, you're programmed this way
Yeah,
in
something
life. Is
like
that
that.
what
It's like if you have too much freedom,
you also
you
feel?
you become imprisoned in that choice. You know, it's like
Is
choice
it the
paralysis.
gilded cage mentality of sorts kind of thing?
Something like that, I guess. I don't know. There's a term for it, but you know that feeling that you get where like when you have too many options, then like you can't choose. That's why I think
You
like
get
that idea of like, you know, there's always this like Singaporean idea of like, oh, you just get good grades and then later like you decide on what school you want to go to or whatever, right? Like
or what you want to do.
it's total BS, because like by the time you get good grades, you won't be able to figure out which school you want to go to. Like you you have you have to actually sink thought and effort into your passion. More thought, in fact, than actually studying. Like studying is simple. There's one road to go. Like you know your
Yeah.
destination.
Say that.
What What did you say, Sean?
I'm sorry, I cannot study.
Oh, well, I mean,
I guess we can say that, James, because we have been lucky in that sense and privileged in that sense to be naturally very blessed to
I mean,
be able to pick things up very quickly.
I feel
But
a lot of exams.
no, like, but in that sense, there are other people who struggle a lot more through the school journey
Yeah, I mean,
that
like,
I personally know of.
okay, it's a different struggle, I guess you could say. Like, some
These are
people
like-
may find it easier, some people may find it harder, but school is a very straight and narrow path. Like at least when you're inside the system already, it's just like study and get good grades, right? But like outside of that, like for life choices, like which school you actually want to go to, that is like more difficult, or what you are passionate in, that requires a
What
lot.
you want to do.
And of course you have
Honestly, I think
ECG, right? But like ECG is BS.
Will it come again?
ECG is like career guidance.
Yeah, sorry.
that. Honestly, you know what I realized? That's the conundrum that's surrounding me now.
Yeah.
Because it's like you don't really know what you want to do in future.
Yeah.
And also I think I need to go in like 5 minutes.
I need to bullshit the conclusion.
There's this conundrum, oh my god, what am I gonna do now that I don't have school?
Yeah.
Time to start
Yeah, so
discovering something.
A lot
Just
of that is, it's huge pressure for what what could be 12 years of our lives, right? It's just constant pressure, and then it just suddenly everything's dropped, and you just don't have anything to do. And for those 12 years, a lot of us are basically just study, and like you don't have to think about what you want to do later in life. First, just study, get a good foundation, and then you can branch off. And I think that kind of cultivates a sense of, in a way, procrastination of thinking what we want to do, because right now we want to focus on our exams, focus on our major exams, focus on getting into uni or something shazazz like that, right? So then it all just loops back around to that Singaporean culture of anxiety, of kiasu, pashu, of wanting that safety net to remain within your life, which kind of just limits us into mediocrity, as James laments in our life. And exactly. So I feel, or I guess, to conclude. Okay, today's topic was pretty here and there. Sometimes we talked about holidays, sometimes we were talking about just school culture. But through the holiday thread, basically, yeah, just celebrate it how you want. If it's not hurting anyone else, have fun. Take the time to take a break from whatever is giving you any pressure. Take the time to rediscover your passions, rediscover your love for anything and anyone, and just take the time to live truly yourself. I think if you do that, continue to use this as just extra time to continue all your responsibilities, all your work. And I think that's just a terrible idea.
No, oh my gosh.
Okay, we're wrapped. What's James
Let's go,
doing?
James.
I did my part.
We are
No,
re-recording
no,
this.
I mean,
Yes, we are.
I'll come back to school at 4th of January at school, man.
No, it's fine. We can use the 30 minutes of footage.
No.
It's crazy, man.